It started with a harmless notification, but when I read the words, my stomach dropped. My secret, the one I'd only told my best friend Sarah, was staring back at me from someone else's text. The phone call was short and sickening. After a few weak denials, she admitted it. She told someone, "I didn't yell. I just said I can't talk to you right now," and hung up. The silence that followed was louder than any argument we'd ever had. The next few weeks were hollow. I'd have a funny thought or a bad day, and my thumb would automatically go to her contact. But then I'd remember. The person I told everything to was the one person I couldn't talk to. The human cost wasn't just a lost friend. It was losing my sounding board, my confidant, my anchor. My real enemy wasn't Sarah. It was the broken trust itself. It was this living, breathing thing that sat between us, whispering doubts in my ear. It made me replay every memory, searching for other cracks I'd missed. I started to believe that maybe I was a fool for ever trusting anyone so completely. The isolation was profound, and I began to think our friendship was well and truly dead. Another casualty of a careless promise. Eventually, I just gave up. The pain was too much, and it was easier to just accept that she was gone from my life. Then one night, I found a photo of us from years ago, crying with laughter over something stupid. And for the first time, the anger was replaced by a deep wave of loss. I missed my friend. It was a simple, painful truth that sparked a question. What if this wound wasn't fatal? I started reading about relational repair, desperate for an answer. I stumbled upon Brené Brown's marble jar analogy. She explains that trust isn't built in big, heroic moments. It's built one small action at a time, like adding a marble to a jar. You share a secret, a marble goes in. They show up when they say they will, another marble. My mistake was thinking trust was a vault that, once broken, was empty forever. The core insight was that it could be refilled, one marble at a time. With my heart hammering in my chest, I sent her a text. It just said, "Can we talk sometime soon?" And hitting send was one of the scariest things I've ever done. We met at a cafe, and the awkwardness was unbearable at first. Instead of attacking her, I just said, "When I found out my secret was shared, I felt deeply hurt, and it broke my trust." I didn't blame, I just stated the impact on me. This time, something was different. She didn't make excuses. She just listened, and I could see the genuine remorse on her face. Her apology wasn't just words. It was a full-body acknowledgement of the pain she'd caused. It was the first tiny marble in a completely empty jar. We started slow, just a text checking in or a funny article. No deep conversations, no secrets, just rebuilding the habit of being in each other's lives. The real healing happened in the weeks that followed. It was painfully slow. It was her asking about a project I'd mentioned and actually remembering the details. It was me tentatively sharing a small frustration and her just listening. Each time she showed up, each time a small vulnerability from me was met with care, I could feel another marble drop into the jar. It was a conscious, deliberate process for both of us, proving that our friendship was worth the effort. Months later, I felt a familiar pang of anxiety before sharing something sensitive with her. My instinct was to clam up, to protect myself, but I knew that would be a step backward. So I took a breath. I told her, "I want to tell you something, but I'm honestly a little scared." Her response changed everything. She just softened and said, "That makes sense. Take your time. I'm here." In that moment, she didn't just hear my words, she heard my fear, and she honored it. That opened the door to the most honest conversation we've ever had. We talked about what makes us feel safe and what triggers our old hurts. We built a new foundation for our friendship, one based not on blind faith, but on explicit communication and mutual respect. Today, our friendship isn't what it was before the break. It's so much deeper. It's forged in the fire of a painful rupture and rebuilt with intention, care, and a lot of work. There's an honesty to it that never existed before. Where there used to be a deafening silence, now there's laughter. The fear has been replaced by a quiet confidence in our connection. The ultimate proof came last month when I received some really hard family news. Without a second thought, I called her. I laid everything out, the fear, the uncertainty, the messy details. And she just listened and breathed with me on the phone and said, "I'm here. We'll get through it." In that moment, I realized the marble jar wasn't just refilled, it was overflowing. The trust wasn't just repaired, it was stronger than it had ever been. I used to think trust was a fragile thing that once shattered was gone forever. But I was wrong. It's more like a muscle. It can be injured, yes, but with careful, consistent work, it can heal and become even stronger than before. The scar becomes a reminder not of the wound, but of the fact that it was able to heal. It taught me that a mistake doesn't have to be the end of the story. Rebuilding trust in a friendship is not easy. It takes courage from the person who was hurt and immense humility and consistency from the person who caused the hurt. But for those connections that are truly part of your story, it is some of the most rewarding work you will ever do.